Hello and welcome. Now, it may just be the biggest admission by the Imran Khan government on Jammu and Kashmir. Pakistan's Foreign Minister Shah Mahmood Qureshi, who is in Geneva, may have done more harm to Pakistan than good. He peddled lies during his address at the UNHRC, but at the same time ended his own country's 70 years of denial on Jammu and Kashmir. Minutes after his address, Qureshi, while speaking to journalists, referred to Jammu and Kashmir as an Indian state, a statement that may just be the biggest embarrassment for Pakistan globally. Listen in.
India is trying to give an impression to the world that life has returned to normalcy. If the life has returned to normalcy, then I say, why don't they allow you, the international media, why don't they allow international organizations, the NGOs, civil society organizations to go into the Indian state of Jammu and Kashmir?
Earlier in the day, Qureshi had termed the change in Jammu and Kashmir's status as illegal under international law. In a bizarre statement, Qureshi claimed that the changes amount to foreign occupation. He said that India's assertion that these actions are part of its internal affairs was patently false.
India's unilateral actions of 5th August 2019 of altering the status of occupied Jammu and Kashmir, recognized as a disputed territory by the UN Security Council, are illegal under international law.
Remember, Pakistan had been desperately trying to gain support from individual countries after India abrogated Article 370 in Jammu and Kashmir. But it failed to secure any third-party intervention. And today was Pakistan's latest attempt to get the human rights body to criticize India for its Jammu and Kashmir move. And the countdown for India's address as the UNHRC has begun. India's High Commissioner to Pakistan, Ajay Bisaria, will be replying to Pakistan in a short while from now. Remember, India continues to maintain that the abrogation of Article 370 is India's internal matter. Secretary East Vijay Thakur Singh in the Foreign Ministry is accompanying Bisaria to reiterate India's stance on Jammu and Kashmir. Now, India will also be asserting its well-articulated position that restrictions were put in place to save human lives. India is also expected to highlight how cross-border terrorism sponsored by Pakistan has impacted Jammu and Kashmir. It's important to highlight how Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi had told several world leaders that India's move is aimed at ensuring all-round economic progress and social development of Jammu and Kashmir. Now, Russia, France, the UK, the US and the UAE have all recognized India's decisions on Jammu and Kashmir as its internal matter. They've said that any issue over Jammu and Kashmir should be resolved bilaterally between India and Pakistan. On 16th August, India was able to thwart a joint China-Pakistan initiative to rake up Jammu and Kashmir at the United Nations Security Council. But Pakistan wanted an emergency session and a consultative meeting on Jammu and Kashmir at the UNHRC. But Russia, France, the UK and the US backed India at the consultations, and Pakistan did not get a formal meeting that it had wanted. And this was a big diplomatic win for India at an international forum. And for more on this developing story, I'm now joined by my colleague Siddhant Sibal. Siddhant, we've heard the Pakistani statement. We also heard Qureshi's self-goal when he referred to J&K as India's state. Now, all eyes on India's statement and the right of reply.
Well, yes, shortly India will be replying to not only Qureshi, but India will be speaking. So 2 times India will be speaking at the United Nations Human Rights Council in Geneva. But if we go by the past few hours, we have seen how Pakistan has been indulging in its own self-goal and embarrassing itself. It went to Geneva to embarrass India, but ended up embarrassing itself. But it's also acceptance of the geopolitical realities that has been there for the last 70 years, but Pakistan could not publicly accept that, primarily because of backlash that it might cause domestically. We know right now the Imran Khan government is facing a lot of issues, whether it's economy, whether it's the situation of minorities. But if it accepts these realities, it will be causing more problem for the Imran Khan government. But by and large, now focus will be on what India says at the United Nations Human Rights Council. We have seen India able to make sure that UNHRC, that's the United Nations Security Council, does not become a forum where it internationalizes Kashmir, Pakistan internationalizes Kashmir. But now focus is on how to make sure that the forum in Geneva is not a forum that becomes a ranting point for Pakistan.
Right, Siddhan, do stay on if you will, but I want to talk to our viewers about another aspect of Pakistan's engagements these days. Now, Pakistan's crucial review by the Financial Action Task Force, or FATF, will take place today. The global terror watchdogs Asia Pacific Group will be reviewing Pakistan's position on money laundering and terror financing. In today's face-to-face meeting, Pakistan's performance will be scrutinized before the final review meeting, which is scheduled in Paris next month. Now, Pakistan has submitted a compliance report to the FATF's Asia Pacific body on its 27-point action plan. This was on the 13th of August. The Pakistani delegation, led by its Economic Affairs Minister Hamad Azhar, left for Bangkok for the review meeting. Now, Pakistan had responded to a questionnaire sent by the FATF on 5th September. The questionnaire had 126 questions. Today, the FATF's Asia Pacific Group will review Pakistan's report of 13th August, as well as its response dated 5th September. All right, if I can go back to my colleague Siddhant Sibal one more time on this bulletin. Siddhant, we're also expecting to hear from the FATF's Asia Pacific meeting happening in Bangkok as we speak. What's the kind of pressure building up on Pakistan like, given the fact that it has not done much on either money laundering or terror financing?
Well, when the last meeting of the Asia Pacific Group, the subgroup of FATF, took place in Canberra, we saw Pakistan not able to justify the attempts it has been making to make sure that the counter-terror measures it committed to are being followed. And now this meeting is taking place. We will get to know the outcome only by the end of this week. But by and large, this is just a precursor to what will happen in Paris. Remember, the full plenary session of the FATF will take place in mid of October, and that will decide that whether Pakistan will be listed on the blacklist. Right now it's on the grey list, and twice it has been reprimanded by the Paris-based body, but Pakistan is not changing its ways on how to deal with terrorism and still continues to support terrorism and use it as a state policy.
All right, on that note, Siddhant Sibal, thank you so much for that update. Appreciate it. Right, and staying on news about Pakistan, Pakistan's record when it comes to minorities is nothing to write home about. From forcible conversion to systemic discrimination, Pakistan's minorities have been waging a difficult battle. This time, the victim of Pakistan's atrocious acts is Prime Minister Imran Khan's own legislator, who is now seeking asylum in India. Baldev Kumar is a former legislator from Imran Khan's Tehreek-e-Insaf party. He used to represent the Barikot constituency in the Khyber Pakhtunkhwa province. Baldev Kumar is currently in India with his family and is seeking political asylum after being at the receiving end of many injustices. In 2016, a sitting legislator from his constituency was assassinated, after which Baldev Kumar faced a murder charge. It was only in 2018 that 43-year-old was acquitted. Baldev Kumar has said that he no longer wants to be in Pakistan after the kind of atrocities that have been meted out to Hindu and Sikh minorities in the country. Just to put this into perspective for our viewers, this is a Pakistani legislator, and that too from the Prime Minister's own party, who has had to face this kind of persecution. So what the common people are going through is anyone's guess.
हालात इस तरह जा रहे हैं कि मिनॉरिटी वहाँ सिक्योर, मिनॉरिटी नहीं मुसलमान सिक्योर नहीं है. टार्चर हो रहे हैं, ज़ाहिनी तौर पर टार्चर हो रहे हैं. जिस तरह जुल्म मैं एक एमपीए हो के मेरे साथ जो जुल्म हुआ, इसी तरह औरों के साथ भी होगा, जो कोई बता नहीं सकता. मैं हकीकत बोलता हूँ, सारी उम्र हकीकत बोली और हकीकत बोलता रहा.
The recent incident of the forcible conversion of a Sikh girl named Jagjit Kaur is another example. Pakistan had drawn international condemnation and was forced to act after much humiliation. Forcible conversions and atrocities against minorities have become the new norm in Pakistan.